I do think Empire needs to make a change, and Empire's roster clearly isn't working. They haven't found any success since RaFaLe Major. They haven't done well domestically in Europe for 2 years now. They're highly inconsistent and stuck in their ways. Most teams can benefit from a roster change right now, I would say. Like, FaZe are good. Liquid are good. TSM are good. And most APAC teams are good. But outside of that, I think most teams could benefit from a change. Sonics are good as well. I think SSG are fine as well, actually. But like, OXG, most of Europe, Latin teams outside of the ones I mentioned could arguably benefit. NiP, yeah, NiP definitely need a roster change in my opinion. Maybe 2. They need more structure in their gameplay. Like, they could benefit from a new IGL, like a support player that can kind of like change the playstyle of the team. Because the way they play the game is very outdated and it doesn't work. And it's like kind of shows in their performance. Like, I truly believe, and I mean no offense, but I truly believe NiP winning Invite was a fluke. Because every other team played like shit that tournament, and all NiP did was just peak and win gunfights. Even when they won Invite, they didn't look like a very good team. Like, they were just swinging solo and winning their gunfights. That was all they did. They couldn't plant the bomb. They couldn't deny the bomb plans. They had almost no synergy, no coordination. They had really bad and outdated setups. But they just won their gunfights. It was extremely unimpressive. And then, like, that was the story of NiP always. Like, they've never looked, quote-unquote, impressive outside of their individual gun skill. Which isn't enough. They made the finals in 2020 as well. Yeah, same playstyle. Swing every swung. And now every team plays that same meta. And what do you know? NiP are very bad. Because NiP kind of started the aggressive way of playing the game. Latin as a region did overall. But NiP are the ones that brought attention to it with success. And now every team is doing the same thing. And look at NiP. They're getting outgunned by almost every single team at this tournament. And they also have bad fundamentals. So they're getting outgunned 1v1. They're getting out-team coordinated. And they're getting out-stratted. And they have worse fundamentals. So, like, how does NiP win? Well, they don't. They just simply don't win. BDS have been very inconsistent internationally, right? But domestically, in Europe, BDS is, like, the best team in Europe by far. And no one is close. But BDS are not managing to take the domestic success to the international scene, right? And that's the problem. And the same thing is for SSG. SSG is like has been looking like the best team in North America for a very long time. Or for like a year almost, right? And internationally they fall short. During the NAL finals they fell short. You can argue that during NAL finals they might have been saving strats, but the whole saving strats part, I'm not really a fan of it, and I never was. Because I don't think any team is good enough in the world to actually realistically do it. Like G2 back in our prime, we were arguably the only team, in my opinion, that was good enough to, you know, save strats to win something bigger. Because we knew we could do it. Like, no doubt about it. But that was only for a very brief moment of like 6 months, you know. After that, before that, we couldn't. Like, we weren't good enough. There's no way SSG thought they could lose in AL finals on purpose to win SI. Like, it's just not realistic. Now they lost both and they look, you know, they look rough. Although they did play well SI, I will say. They did play well. They played better than I thought they would. Or they did better than I thought they would. But I don't think anybody's gonna have a dynasty again. Nobody has ever won a tournament back-to-back since G2 did. Never. Not even really close. Like, NiP going to the grand finals and winning SI, that was the closest they've had. What was the issue with RaFaLe? So we don't actually know what the issue with RaFaLe was. We don't know. Like, even the casters, we don't know. There's rumors. Like, the rumor that everyone's talking about is that, like, he smoked weed. But then, like, that was confirmed on Twitter by bios that that's not true. Like, that's not the issue, at least. And by the sounds of Elim's tweet, he said like 1 week before invite, they've been having this issue. So I honestly don't know what it is. I have no idea. It could be a lot of things. And I don't want to give into rumors or say what I think it is, because then if it's not true, like it's like slander. But basically, something absolutely massive must have happened, right? And I don't think it's like not being vaccinated or breaking the protocol, because why? Like the crazy thing about the RaFaLe situation is that he came back. If he wasn't vaccinated and lied about that, or broke the bubble, like, why would he come back to the event after a few days? That's the thing that doesn't make any sense. If he was cheating, why would he come back after a few days? If he was being toxic, why would he come back after a few days? Like, that's what doesn't make any sense. So the whole thing where, like, he was forced to leave the tournament for a few days, and then he returned, it's like...
followed you for a phone gadget and just...
Probably broke the protocol, was forced to go under quarantine. Well, he left Sweden as far as I know. Maybe he didn't, I don't know. But either way, whatever happened with RaFaLe, we don't know. We truly have no idea. It could be that he broke the protocol, but why didn't he play from his hotel room like every other player did? Like, Empire tested positive with 2 players, and they played from their hotel room for a week straight. So why did RaFaLe not do that if that was the case? Like, that, there's no logical explanation is what I'm trying to get at, right? So we don't know what happened. We truly do not know. And I'm very curious as to what it is, because we've never seemingly had anything this big happen before in Siege. To that extent of, like, importance or urgency.
10 seconds left.
Can you not vault here anymore?
5 seconds and counting.
Maybe not. Maybe you can. I'm just bad at it.
You must protect your
You got a drop on it?
Used by Op 4.
Like that? Ah. That's... It's not working. I'm keep falling off. Oh, I got it. Woo! As we always are. Invite was great, by the way. Then chat asked. Invite was great. My cam isn't here, is it? There it is. Invite was great. TSM were ridiculously good. I think them and Team Liquid were the 2 best teams. And when Liquid lost, I was like, you know what? I think TSM takes it now. Like, no one looked even close to as good as they did. And it showed, right? It showed. And Liquid really ran out of steam in their game. They got slammed themselves in a 2-0 fashion.